Everybody, and welcome back to Let's Play Rule the Waves 3 as Japan, as we fight what is probably the worst possible war that we could be fighting at this exact moment in time. It is October 1907, and we are fighting what are probably like two of the largest, if not the largest, European navies at this point, historically. Oh, well, okay, not quite. Germany does have a slightly larger navy than France. France is technically in like 4th place when it comes to a European power. But nonetheless, they are, and granted, you know, we've sunk a fair bit of their shit, and that's kind of the reason why, but nonetheless, this is not a very fun war. Part of the reason for that, of course, is that our allies are refusing to join in because they're scared, rightfully so in many ways, of the British and the French. So we don't have the 537 some odd tonnage of the Russians and the 579 some odd tonnage of the Americans, with their very advanced, supposedly, tech. But so I can just imagine. Had to double check this because I don't know Japanese history that well, so I for the life of me could not name off the top of my head who the Emperor of Japan was at this time. But it was, I guess I should have expected it, realistically. It was the Meiji Emperor, you know, for the Meiji Restoration. So yeah. I can just see him trying to constantly call up the Russians and the Americans, and they're just not picking up the phone. They're just ignoring us. But don't worry. For the Russians, we got our revenge before we actually needed to get the revenge. And for the Americans, we will potentially end up getting our revenge later. We'll see. But nonetheless, let's get the timer started. And we're just going to have to try to survive, because that is basically our goal. Minimize our losses, maximize their losses. And yeah, if we manage to make it through this, we will be golden. Good luck, though, because I don't see this ending well. I legitimately do not. I suppose we could put our stuff on fleet support. No. Prize rules, I think, works, because that would, in theory, have them try to sink their stuff if they find it. Fleet support has them try to actually support our engagements, and I don't think that would make enough of a difference. Unfortunately, we lost our Fujis, so yeah, that's not very fun for us, unfortunately. And we already cut back on research down to 10% to try to save a little bit of money. Our goal is basically going to be to try to survive by just winning engagements. Particularly, well, I mean, obviously, we're going to win by successfully winning engagements. No shit. Specifically, invasions are the ones we need to try to do our best at, because those give us a lot of victory points. That's why we have 13,000 more than they do. Great Britain increased their budget. I'm surprised we didn't get a fight that time. Not that I'm going to complain too much about it, but I am shocked about it nonetheless. Yes, widespread demonstrations and serious disruptions are reported in France. Wonderful. Torpedo protection 1, nice to have. Game, I have ships here. We can fight. I don't know why we're not getting any fights. Only the Navy can win this war, because this is purely a naval war. I mean, technically the Army could advance into, you know, the southern half of Vietnam. They could technically do that, but they wouldn't have any resupply because we don't own China, so we wouldn't be able to have a land connection there. So they're still going to have to rely on the Navy for protecting their supply chains. Yes. Also, wow, really, you scuttled it due to lack of fuel. That seems a tad bit extreme. Okay, the Yakumo is ready to go. Let's just double check the Yakumo, because for the life of me, I couldn't recall what it had. Oh, yes, this is the American design. Yes. Yeah, you know what? It's all good to go. God fucking damn it. God damn it. We're not going to talk about it. We're not going to talk about it. The design poofed out of existence because I canceled it. So let's try this again. Best we can. Unfortunately, I don't really recall what the design looked like exactly, so kind of going in with a bit of guesswork on this. I want to say it was something to this effect. Triple secondaries, what? Oh, whoops. I'm like, I don't recall doing triple secondaries. Well, that'd be why. Let's get rid of those torpedoes. Also, this is a very light. I mean, I think we made this thing freaking stupid in size. Like, just barely enough to avoid being qualified as a battle cruiser, I think. We can sort out a little bit. Can't do that. Can I? How small can I go? Can I go small enough to avoid making you a battle cruiser and still give you 11-inch guns? Just out of curiosity. Can I build a pocket battleship that is technically a heavy cruiser? No. The game does not, unfortunately, allow you to do that. So I will survive. I will survive. That is annoying. Also, do I really need to build this in the American shipyards now? I mean, technically, well, you know, no, they are technically advanced, so I guess, you know, I'll get whatever the hell they got, but... Nope, that needs to be 9.5. Need to be 26 knots. Yep, okay. I don't recall if this is what the Yakumo looked like before, but this is what the Yakumo looks like now. And we're just going to like it. Pick up number of secondary ammo. Skip the tertiaries. Leaves us with 110 left. And I am fine with that. Okay. This is what the Yakumo looks like now. This is what we're going to build. 3 more months to get it back. I could have, you know, just restarted this, but whatever. Again, no fights. I'm not going to complain about that too much. But it is a little bit strange. I mean, if they're not going to fight me, I'm sorry, game. I have to consider the option. Can I do it? I mean, it's 8 months, unfortunately, to actually do this. And realistically, I would want to give them a machinery replacement coal turbine for the, like, 100 weight. up their speed to 20. Take a little bit of weight off the turret. How fast can I make you? Hull form does not allow faster than 21 knots. Honestly, 21 knots is not the worst thing ever. But that is a 14-month rebuild. And I don't think we can really afford to do a 14-month rebuild. Certainly not in the middle of a war. That's not strictly true, is it? If we do it slowly, like one at a time, we could probably do it without too much interruption, especially if the game's going to keep giving us this downtime that we seem to have. Maybe give you reliability for the engine priority. Got the weight. And it doesn't actually make you any more expensive. I wish I had oil, but I don't. Yet. You know what? I'm going to say fuck it. (12,160 yards with a 9.3-inch penetration. 9.7 with that, and 13,300 yards. Yeah, you know what? Screw it. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. Now, I don't think I can add turrets, right? Yeah, can't add turrets. Just wanted to double check that. Yeah, you know what? Screw it. We're going to do this. We're going to go ahead and start rebuilding the Shikishimas in the middle of a war. I fully expect that this is not the brightest idea, but I don't care. We need our Shikishimas to be better than they are because they are our only battleships. And they will continue to be our only battleships for a fair amount of time. So we need them to be the best that they can be, even if we need to rebuild them in the middle of a war. We're going to do it one at a time because we don't really have the ability to do it any more at once. And of course, the enemy proceeds to use this opportunity to invade Hainan, but our intel seems to indicate they don't have very many forces here. We're claiming 4 battleships, 6 light cruisers, and 3 destroyers for them, which seems very small compared to what we have. And the British actually declined that battle. I'm going to decline this one. It's not worth nearly as many victory points. I think the guy we let go is doing his thing. Oh. I'm sorry. I can't dismiss you in the middle of a war. So, Kaigen Hironobu, who's currently unassigned, average aggressive torpedo expert, has shot KD Tange, unassigned average, in a hunting accident. Fortunately, KD Tange is expected to make a more or less full recovery. Rumor has it that there was some rivalry over a woman, and it is said that the incident might not have been wholly accidental. I'm sorry. He's a torpedo expert. Guess what he can do? He can be placed on a destroyer. 14-inch guns. I love it. Let's design an actual battleship. And let's not do the wing turrets, thank you very much. Because they're hideous. I hate them. I absolutely despise wing turrets. Why are you trying to give a short range? Don't do the extended. 2 inches on the deck and the deck extended. Or excuse me, on the upper belt. 5-inch guns. For the secondaries, 24 of those if you don't mind. How many? 36, so 12 of those. I wish I had a forward, but I don't. I don't think I can do triple turrets yet, right? 20% rate of fire penalty if I do secondary or triples. 100 there. Up this speed. I don't want you to be a battle cruiser personally. Game really wants you to be a battle cruiser apparently. 23 knots is the fastest I can make you and not have you be a battle cruiser. The battle cruisers aren't bad. They have their own pros. They get treated like they get treated like cruisers. Assuming that the battle generator is similar to Rule the Waves 2. That is actually how things worked. Battle cruisers were treated just as cruisers. So maybe I do make you a battle cruiser. You have the pros and cons of a... You know what? I think I will. Oh, whoops. This is the wrong secondary. Or excuse me, wrong superimposed. I want the X superimposed, not the V superimposed. The X doesn't have a penalty to secondary fire rate. Well, for unturreted secondaries. I think if I were able to turret those guys, I think V works, right? Oh, no, that's just straight up non-casemated. Never mind then. We're going to move the, there we go. That way they're not literally right on top of each other visually. Conning tower, let's make that 8 inches, make this 14 inches. Turret top is fine at 2 still at this point in the game. Oh, now you let me do, whoops. Now you let me do 24. Okay, how fast are you going to let me make this now before it becomes a battle cruiser? I assume it's actually now because the armor's up, right? Yep, that's why. Okay, 12.5 inches is the bare minimum I can make your armor to avoid the game wanting you to be a battle cruiser. So the question now is 25 knots or 14 inches of belt armor? Considering the guns right now, I lean towards 25 inch, or excuse me, 25 knot speed. I'm very much leaning towards that. Now I could maybe, if I get rid of the torpedoes, almost, very close, not quite. Upper belt. There we go. Best of both worlds. Granted, you know, I literally stripped off armor and armament, but hey, I don't think that armor was really doing anything anyway. And, you know what? Just having the belt itself be thicker, I think, more than makes up for it. Now, technically, it's still penetrable with our guns 14 inches at 1,000 yards, because it would need to be 14.5, which I could do, but I don't care for 14.5 because I don't need you to be literally invulnerable to even our own guns right now. Thank you very much. Now, since we stripped out the tertiaries, let's add some more some more ammo on the secondaries. Let's just do 200 rounds. I think that's a nice, good number to work with. We can add more later if, you know, we end up with the weight savings, because maybe we get oil. Okay, so this is the Yashima. 4 months for that. Ooh, widespread demonstrations and serious disturbances are reported in Great Britain. Oh. British ship forced to seek internment in a neutral port in the South American West Coast due to mechanical problems. Thank you for the budget. We shouldn't let them off lightly. No common ground, but not unreasonable demands. We have the prestige. Again, I mean, granted, it kind of sounds like things aren't going great on the home front for the British and the French. So, you know, we maybe don't actually need the help of our allies, but I wouldn't mind them coming in, you know, just to take some pressure off us so we can maybe snag some more territory. But you know what? Again, we have the prestige. We have 51 right now. We're going to go ahead and see if we can persuade the Americans with a little bit of economic and material help. Of course, they have nothing to send at this time. Okay, the Yakumo is ready to go. These are expensive, however. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and queue up 2 of them because we have a little bit extra budget right now. And we need to get this stuff going. Now, okay. We don't have territorial control of Southeast Asia. I don't know why they pulled back. I think they might have sent too many ships, and they might have actually gone over their base capacity here, which maybe caused some unrest because of crews not getting enough food and water and shit, basically. At least, that's my theory. The Army offensive a disaster. Strikes and anti-war demonstrations are rumored to take place in Great Britain. If we could force the British to have a revolution to end the war, holy shit, we could take a bunch of stuff off them. Can I maybe snag Hong Kong now? Game, if you let me snag Hong Kong, I will love you forever. Cruiser action. Well, you know what? We have even-ish footing now. So I'm willing to take this. So supposedly they had one of their dreadnoughts here, so that's not going to be very fun. But we don't have any of our battleships, so presumably they don't have it here either. Or they don't have their dreadnought, rather. Or am I wrong? Nope, that's a destroyer. Also is an independent destroyer, which I'm going to now assign to support the Assaus. What do we have? I mean, it's a cruiser engagement. Presumably all they got are cruisers. Okay, 1 CL and a couple of destroyers, so if we can get our guns in. Oh, nope. Supposedly a battle cruiser. Is it actually a battle cruiser, though? No, it is a... Oh, no, it is a battle cruiser. Holy shit, okay. If we can sink that, that's a lot of VP. I have 4 of... What are these? Takachihos. Do we do it? Do we risk several Takachihos to take out a battlecruiser? I mean, I'm almost inclined to say yes if the opportunity presents itself. Annoyingly, here we go. These are the good destroyers. These are the ones that can keep up with it. These are the ones for the Assau. So, you know what? We're going to send in the destroyers. I wish I could make... Oh, shit, I can make smoke. I didn't realize that. I thought I didn't have that yet. Okay, so we have make smoke. So, you know what? We're going to send in the... God, what are these? The Nakatsukis. We're going to send the Nakatsukis to attempt multiple torpedo runs under smoke on the Inflexible. If we manage to do this, oh my god, that will significantly move the war in our favor. Because sinking a battlecruiser, that's going to hurt a lot. You go for the CL, you go for the DDs. You guys make smoke now. Also, turn off your auto torpedo because I don't want you guys firing them willy-nilly. The Inflexible just made a big turn, so we may be able to catch it before it gets speed again. Annoyingly, you just took a fairly sizable hit. Satsuki. Come on, Satsuki. I think you have an arc. Yes, you do. I don't think that's going to hit, though, because I think he's turning too much. Holy shit, it hit. Get another one in. Akabona's going to break off. Another one. Uzuki's sinking. Get your torpedoes off before you're officially sunk. We got 2 torpedoes in. It's not feeling too hot. But unfortunately, Akabona's going to have to turn back in. Fortunately, the Nakatsuki is the only one that has a torpedo left out of this group here. And it is, it ain't doing too hot. Actually, I think it's doing a little too hot. I think it's on fire. Yes, it is. We're going to take heavy losses sinking this battlecruiser, but oh my god if we do it. Oh shit, they got 2 battleships down here as well. Okay, they actually did bring their battleships to the party. Maybe change of plans. We did some real damage to you. I'm going to have you guys attempt to make report, but I don't think you guys have the power to do that. I really don't. Nope, they're both sunk. You guys are going to break north. Link back up with the Asau. Battlecruiser ain't doing too hot. We might be able to move in with maybe our light cruisers and finish the job. It took 2 torpedoes. It's should be flooding. I don't think they have torpedo protection, though. I could be wrong on that. I don't know that for certain. That's just a guess. Because this is a 1905 design. We just got it. They may have been lucky and they got it earlier than us, but I feel like they probably didn't. Those are ancient. Jesus, you have 13-inch guns on pre-dreadnoughts? Thirteen and a half inches of belt armor. I don't think we have the penetration for that. No, we don't. So break off. Don't follow the battle cruisers. Continue hunting down the light cruiser. How fast are these guys? They are 18 knots, so they won't be able to catch up to us. Claiming heavy damage on the battle cruiser, but I don't think we're hitting it with our... spoke a little too soon. We just hit it with a 4-inch gun. Granted, it's a 4-inch gun, so that's our secondaries. Another 4-inch gun hit. How many guns do you have on the rear? Oh, no, you're just 4 12-inchers. Okay. So it's not even really all that many guns for you. I'm going to tell you guys to make smoke as well. Just try to cover yourselves a little bit. Get as much as you can. You guys break off. Try to pincer it. Yet you're going to have to get in front of it. We might just rely on the destroyers to finish the job. They're most likely to get a... There we go. You guys break off in case that goes long. Okay, that hit. And dead in the water. Wonderful. One more torpedo for the road. Same with you guys. And then break north. And you guys are going to break south. There we go. 2 more torpedoes. They're not having a fun time. You guys go back under AI control now. Turn back north. Try to get to that light cruiser. You guys turn north. Try to go for those destroyers. Okay, we're going to sink a battle cruiser. In exchange, we lost a couple destroyers. You know what? That's a great trade, because those were 500-ton destroyers. This thing's 18,500 tons. Yeah, it's not having a fun time. Turn into intercept. Try to break the distance with the battleships because you don't have the penetration. You would have to rely on your torpedoes, and I don't want you getting that close to them. Turn north. South again now. There's another destroyer because of the battleship guns. Yeah, sure, go ahead. Try to grab the survivors off that battle cruiser. Medium damage on you. Still not quite as much as I would like. It's legitimately trying, and I can understand the logic there, to link back up with the, oh shit, somebody took a hit to the engine. Oh, it's the Naniwa, but I can't break the Naniwa off. Oh shit, more small things from them, probably from Hong Kong. Might be more destroyers, or might actually be corvettes. Have our light cruisers hunt down these destroyers. Try to finish that job. You have a 2.3. Those guys are breaking north-ish. Oh, damn it. Seems to be going slow. How about you guys go north, try to finish that one off. Try to turn to link back up, or to continue chasing that light cruiser. And that guy's going full speed, and unfortunately, because the Naniwa is slowing us down here, they're probably going to get away. Excuse me. That's going to get away, and annoyingly, this is going to bring us right into view of the battleships. Which means break north, break contact. You guys can stop making smoke. Try to maintain distance so that they don't torpedo our destroyers with their destroyer. Because for the AI, they will get lucky and they will do that, while for me, the player, I will never torpedo a destroyer because it just will not happen. Dead in the water, and you guys can link back up with the light cruisers. You head there. 3.6 and firing high explosive. Sorry, did I read that right? Yeah, okay, we're getting 5-inch hits on you, but we're not landing 10-inch hits. Spoke a little too soon, we just landed one. And then another 5-inch hit. Break off, because that guy will attempt to torpedo you. And the light cruiser is now dead in the water, so now we just have to deal with the destroyer. Side of the destroyers up here. But that's fine. To focus on the destroyer, if you don't mind. Battleships aren't that big of a threat, no matter what you think. We could chase them down, and the reality is I probably should try to chase them down. The unfortunate thing is that we just don't have a battleship of our own, so we kind of lack some of the capabilities that we would use to actually destroy those. I mean, we have quite a bit of ammo, I think, right? About 28% ammo left on the Asau, it looks like. Is that right? Yep, 28% there. You have... Okay, the light cruisers have plenty. But they don't have the speed. Oh, now they might, because it looks like the Naval fixed its engine just a little bit. First things first, need to avoid this destroyer that's attempting to launch a long-range torpedo at us. So long as they don't land good hits, we might be able to wear these down. Just wish my torpedo or my destroyers would do a bit of a better job of pushing them back. Oh, yes, yes. I'm loving it. We got one spinning in circles. Go for the one spinning in circles. Screw the other guy. Go for the one spinning and thank you. Wreck its poor little engine. At least try to. Now, if you guys could just land some 5-inch hits, that'd be nice. Shit, Takachiho, break off. Sail for port, or at least try to. You are slow as shit, so I might be able to land a torpedo. Yep, got one. I don't think you have an arc now. Oh, no, you do. Okay, go ahead and fire that. Okay, battle cruiser and a battleship. You make smoke so you're a bit harder to hit, hopefully. Okay, we just landed several more torpedoes on you. I don't know what the British are doing, but whatever they're doing, it ain't working as well as they liked. How about you go and link up with the Asawa? Oh no, shit, you're screwed, buddy. You head to port. Pop smoke. As you close in. We're gonna head to port, I think, after we launch some torpedoes on this guy. Because if he sinks, it doesn't really matter anymore. Somebody missed. Okay, so that's 2 battleships, a battle cruiser, a couple of destroyers, and by a couple I think only like 1, but you know what, whatever. I'm fine with that. If it's just 1, I'm fine with that. That is a lot of victory points for us. And again, maybe, if we do this enough, we'll be able to snag Hong Kong, which will basically force the British out of the area, because they're Good frickin' luck. Yeah, that guy's getting away, but maybe we can sink this other destroyer over here. Yep, okay, he's gonna sink. Somebody head over here to make sure the battleship sinks. We just need to verify that. Okay, and they fled. So, battlecruiser, 2 battleships, a light cruiser, and 2 destroyers. All in exchange for 3 destroyers on our end. 6,000 victory points. We got almost 10 times the number of victory points. A little over 10 times the victory points that they got. Aha. Examination of captured enemy munitions has helped our research in explosive shells. Wonderful. Better armor. Wonderful. Thank you, Russia. You're not the best ally, but you finally joined in, and I'm glad to hear that. You might be able to. Oh shit! You have almost as many freaking tonnage as the British do in Northern Europe. You are literally one difference between them. Yeah. Okay. Holy shit! Things are coming up exactly how we want them to now. Also, since we just got that improvement to our armor, we're gonna have to let the Yashima go through a quick little redesign just so it applies the new armor scheme. Oh, you're gonna actually defend this. I mean, I can't blame you for that, but I was kind of hoping you would say, we got our asses kicked in that last fight. Maybe we don't. Where are we landing? There. Okay, well, that's probably a decent landing site. Probably. You are heading due north, more or less. 15 degrees north, so the enemy is probably in that direction. Again, my experience, I think I mentioned this, is that the lead ship in the formation, particularly in the main force, basically always points in direction that the enemy actually is. I don't know why. Everything else will point in whatever direction it feels like, but the lead ship of the main force seems to always point in the direction that the enemy is. Surprisingly, this time that's not fully accurate depending upon what this is. Oh my god, you freaking brought hey, yeah, if I can speak. The Corvettes? Really? Do we need them? Where the hell are the transports? Oh, over here, okay. You know what? The Iwate and the Asau, I think, are gonna head for the landing site to defend it. Or, well, not defend it, but, deal with the enemy batteries in the area, hopefully. Make sure you guys aren't following the Corvettes, because the Corvettes don't need to be here. Armored cruiser, what do we have in the back there? Destroyers, like, those are all destroyers. Even that last thing that we're identifying as a light cruiser. I don't recall telling you guys to go back onto AI control. Now, unfortunately, I think you're faster than me. Yes. But I outrange you, so if you're not faster enough than me, and yes, that doesn't make grammatical sense, we should be able to catch up. Oh, okay. Found the, yep, no, I was right. That's their scouts, I think. This is the battle line. And this is what we need to sink. Luckily, it is not in any way interfering with the transport, so the transport should make it. Okay, and it looks like it is old battleships. Nothing new. So these are old ships that we can actually engage. They brought all the new shit home. That was a bad decision on their part. The Bulwarks do slightly outrange our Shikishimas because they have 13-inch guns and we have 12-inch guns. You can keep those destroyers off me, please. Fuck off, destroyers. Nobody likes you. See this? This is several light cruisers telling you to piss off. You're in the wrong neck of the woods. Oh, you guys break off. A little too far forward. Eesh, goddamn. The Iki's not having a fun time. Yeah, you guys chase those guys off. The Akashi's gonna join in. Just screw it. I think we landed a 12-inch hit. Nope. No, it was a 5-inch hit. You guys break off too. You are not where I want you to be. That guy is not having a fun time. You continue chasing them. The Akashi is going to finish off that Forester. Battleships turned around. Let's go ahead and chase them off. Although annoyingly, they're not heading in the direction I want. Or, never mind, they turned back around. They changed their mind. And then they changed their minds again, because they just cannot make up their mind. Okay, that Forester is dead in the water. You chase off the Paragon. These guys are going to turn back in and pincer the enemy formation. These are those scouts or whatever that we spotted initially, I think. There we go, 12-inch hit on a bulwark. Bridge damage, but it survives. Another 12-inch hit on a bulwark. They're doing better than they are, in my opinion. You turn in, deal with that Paragon. Turn slightly north. Misaki turn north as well. Osama and whatnot also. You know, you guys are not in the right position. I would like for the light cruisers to be between us and the enemy formation so that you can dissuade destroyers from attempting torpedo runs. And another hit on a bulwark. Looks like it's this one, the one that's lagging behind. Can we just prioritize the one that's lagging behind? Finish it off? Shit, turn south. If they're in torpedo range, we are in torpedo range. Hell, we were probably already in torpedo range. Okay, you guys, slow down. Go to about 5 knots to maximize your time on target without too much of issue. You guys are going to go ahead and I think make a run on the weakling because it's a weak gazelle. Well, wounded gazelle. I mean, it is weak because it's wounded, but nonetheless, that's not the point I'm trying to make. Try to force somebody to make a turn somewhere and break off. Sure, go ahead and pick up those survivors. Why not? You guys, slow down to 5 knots as well. Same reason, maximize your time on target. That was a bad turn, buddy. That was a bad, bad turn. And still managed to land a torpedo. Holy crap. I'm surprised that that actually hit. Sure, you can try that one. I don't think it'll hit. But who the hell knows? I don't think that was the one we were aiming for. But it hit. So I'm fine with that. That one just survived multiple torpedo hits. That one just took one, so it's going to be slower down. It's going to have slowed down a fair bit. Get the battleships turned back in. Why do I feel like I'm missing a battleship? Because I am. Shit, Geoda ain't doing too hot. Let's try to allow it to break out, but it's not gonna have a fun time. But if it can, just need you to survive. It's almost a collision. We need this guy to sink, or at least his guns to be inoperable. Now the Assam is going to break off. Toki was going to head southeast-ish. You are going to go ahead and I think make your way for Hainan. You've done your job. It's 2 battleships sunk. Destroyer or 2. See if we can make it 3. But I don't think we will. Unfortunately. You guys need to turn back in. Okay. The other one is slightly out of range. Maybe don't waste your ammo on those guys. I don't think you really need to. Go over the things that are actually still a potential threat. If I can get you up to 7 knots, you should be able to get outside of his gun range without too many issues. Although it kind of seems like he's not firing, because his gun doesn't actually seem like it's facing our direction. Don't know what the hell he's trying to shoot, but it ain't us, luckily. Well, rather, it ain't you. Now, if we can force them into port, that wouldn't be too bad. Yeah, no. Osama, you're still going to go ahead and head for Hainan once you get the opportunity. You don't need to stay. You've done your job. You are no longer necessary. Somebody check on the transports. Make sure they're not being harassed. He's outside your gun range now. Okay, yeah, we're gonna force them into port, it looks like, maybe. Oh, maybe not. The battleship is turning back out, as if it doesn't really want to go into port. Granted, it might be because it sees the 2 destroyers that are kind of stuck up there, and it's just, it doesn't want to. Because destroyers means torpedoes, and torpedoes are not fun. Especially for a 1983 design, right? Or excuse me, not 1983. Did I say 1983 the first time? I think I did. 1893. I might have said it right the first time, and I just, for some reason, think I said it wrong. I don't know. Either way. Now it looks like it is going to head into port. Asanagi, I don't know what the hell you're doing still up there, but you don't need to be up there anymore. Try to get away. You don't mind. I really don't need you up there. It's not doing anything beneficial. Bulwark is on the wrong side of that island, and it is not helping its speed at all. We are now going into dusk with a haze. Maybe we will make it 3. Because the game, you're really making it seem like I might be able to make it 3. Because that bulwark is not having a fun time. Oh, somebody fired off torpedoes. Would have been great if those hit. Oh shit. Yeah, you guys just break off south, because I think you took a 12-inch hit, didn't, or 13-inch hit. No. No, you didn't. You took several 6-inch hits, but I'm shocked that those did as much damage as they did. I mean, sure, you only have 2 inches of belt armor, but Jesus, really? Night's coming now as well. Tokiwa? I think you're going to do it, Tokiwa. You can do it. You need to fucking turn in. What did I say? You're going to have to turn in if you want to have any chance doing it, but you didn't do it. It's fine. It's fine. Key. It's your chance. Don't think you actually have a good arc on this one, but try it. Oh, you did it. And it's dead in the water. It's 3 for 3. Oh, oh, Britain, I don't know what you were thinking. But I am so fucking happy you decided to pull all your troops back. You just made me so happy. Now I just need the transports to arrive. And we're golden. Obviously, you know, sink as much of their crap as we can, because why not? But we got what I want. We got what we wanted out of this. Well, we will, rather. If we want to be accurate, we will have what we want out of this. A successful invasion of Hong Kong. Oh shit, transports are way the hell up here now. Not sure what the hell we were flagging down here. Fubuki, you're going to go ahead and head to port. Oh, that's my timer going off. Let's go ahead and wrap up this battle. And we... Oh, Britain. Losing Hong Kong is going to really hurt them, because remember, this was like 200 base capacity. That's the thing to remember here with Hong Kong. It was like 200 base capacity. Losing this significantly cuts down on their ability to station ships in Southeast Asia, which makes our life even easier. Because if they can't station ships here, well, it's easier to invade the other stuff. What the hell? Here. So transports now. The question is just going to be if the game is going to go ahead and count them nice and easy, or if it's going to be a pain in the ass like it is sometimes, where it just seemingly doesn't count transports, even when they're clearly within the circle. Not that it matters, we should have enough points for this to be a victory for us and thus a successful invasion, even if our troops don't land, but, you know, I wouldn't mind getting the extra victory points because of the massive disparity in points from having our guys successfully reach their destination. And whenever the game decides to say that they reached their destination, I am going to break off and head to port. There's no reason for me to stay here. Once our troops successfully land, if that happens. Where's the Sagami? There you are. Tokiwa, what are you doing? I don't know, but the Ikuzuki could stand to head to a port, because it ain't doing too hot. What's the Akashi doing? Akashi could head over here as well. Kind of wish we had the Philippines, because I think that would have been a bit of an easier one to tell the corvettes to go for. You may actually have to wait until daytime to be able to deal with the batteries over here if the game's going to be a pain about counting this. Now, annoyingly, I think part of the issue is that the game requires like 4 of them to be in the circle at the same time, and that's assuming it decides to actually count them as well. And so if they're having a hard time pathing into the circle, it's going to make it even harder to, actually count them. Okay, they're in port. Or they're at the objective. Now the issue is getting the game to count them. Part of our issue is we can't really detect those batteries if they're causing any issues. Let's go down to 1 knot. We're gonna go, sailing speeds, basically. Just nice and slow until day breaks again. And then you guys can do your thing. You know what? Everybody's just going to head to port. If you're not needed, you're going to head to port. Suki, I don't know where the hell you're going. Let's head to Formosa. That's okay. I think that one's closer for you guys than trying to head to Hainan or Kangcha Wan. Need you guys to get just a little further away. Just a little further away. Yep. Okay, they're going to be engaging our transports now, which is the reason why I needed to destroy those. Oh, but destroying land batteries, especially, I don't know what it is with those freaking 4-inch field batteries, but they do not get destroyed easily. They really don't. Dawn is almost upon us, and so we can actually see something. Or not. And just go ahead and stop where you are. There we go. Game counted it finally. Which of course means technically I can now leave. Because we don't need to be here anymore. Game counted it. It's good. Game's not going to go back on its word and say, no, we don't feel like counting it now. As long as they land it, it's good. Just get the game up to fast speed and, well, rather to, just take me to whatever the fastest speed is. And that'll let us do at least. And chug along through. We'll end this part with a successful invasion of Hong Kong, which I think is a wonderful way to end the part. Not really what I wanted to do, actually, since you guys aren't going to just continue with your previous orders. You actually do go under AI control for this. The issue is going to be that the transports see the guys, so they're going to just try to... They're annoyingly going to try to... well, because they see those guys, they're going to keep slowing down the game. So the fastest speed we can do is fast instead of ultra fast. And we just kind of have to wait until this all ticks over. Because we also can't just go ahead and end the mission because enemies are nearby. Yes, they are. They are more so annoyance than anything else. So this is going to take a little while to finish. There's just nothing we can really do to speed it up. Oof, Iki, you ain't doing too hot. Flooding out of curiosity. I realized you had some issues before, but really? You're okay, you're still flooding apparently from hits from ages ago. Okay, we're almost at 1300. Time elapsed. Just another 100 to go. But hey, again, successful invasion of Hong Kong. It's a good enough prize for me. Just runs and runs and runs. I mean, I don't mind parts going long sometimes, but this is, unfortunately one of those, nothing's happening type part has ended. Okay, yeah. Unfortunately, I think the game's just not going to let us end this until basically all our forces are in port. Or until the enemy has destroyed our transports, whichever happens first. But hey, again, technically our troops landed already, so it doesn't really matter to me. God, game, stop giving me the pauses just because... One, no, it's not moving. I think the time elapsed for the game to force end a campaign, a battle is, I think, twice the time elapsed. So it's not going to force end until we hit 2800. I think what I'm going to end up doing here is I'm going to actually pause the recording, I think, until the battle ends, and then once it ends, we'll resume from there, and we can see the end results and how many victory points we got and all of that jazz. So I will be back with you all in a few moments. Well, for me it'll be a few moments. For you guys it'll be a matter of seconds. Okay, there we go. Dawn and night came, and their land batteries, or excuse me, their field batteries lost sight of our transports, and voila, mission over. So, we lost a destroyer. Literally the only thing we lost. Single destroyer. Heavily damaged a battleship and a light cruiser and another destroyer. Medium damage to another battleship, or to 2 battleships rather. But the only thing we actually lost is a destroyer and a couple of transports. And hey, we don't give a shit about the transports because they reached the objective, and that's the only thing that matters. We got the VP for the, excuse me, the points for it. In exchange, the enemy lost 3 battleships and 6 destroyers. Just out of curiosity, what are the battleships they lost? They lost the Canopus, the Albion. Oh, Britain. You lost an Albion? That cannot bode well for you. And the Implacable. Oh, 10,000 victory points for us. 2 prestige. After the victorious battle, our troops land in Hong Kong. Battle of Dangan Island. 6 ships finished working up. Oh. Or that they were working on the problems of mechanical fire, but successes so far eluded them. Well on our way to understanding reliable delay fuses. Fuck. Literally same part that we take over, or we invade Hong Kong. Our forces in Hong Kong have been defeated. Great job, guys. Fucking army. Russia adds 210 VP. Thank you very much. The reality is, this ain't going too well for the British. God damn it. 1 second. Had to move the window so I could pull this back up and then, put it back in position. So, okay, there we go. We got some improvements to our guns and stuff. We're going to go ahead and let this change go through. In theory, we should be getting better armor because we have to basically restudy the design, but I'm fine with that. I'm perfectly fine with that. So save this to apply the finishing touches. Let that do another month. We're not going to go ahead and do a month, however, because this part has already gone on almost 20 minutes past what I set my timer for. So that's going to be it for this part. I will see you all next time. A bunch of our ships are going to have to be sitting in the repair yards for a couple of turns. So it's going to be a bit before we can attempt a second invasion of Hong Kong, but hopefully this second one goes a bit better than the first. But luckily, the Russians are involved now. Granted, they don't have the capacity to really outnumber the British. They just don't. The British is like 300,000 tons more than them in fleet tonnage. Granted, that's 300,000 tons with a budget that is like twice theirs. So yeah. Now, if the Americans would just join in, that could help to even things out just a little. I could use this fleet that they have in the Central Pacific in Southeast Asia just to help bump things in my favor. I don't need the Russians to help me in Asia. I really don't. I need them to focus on Europe, because that's where they can make the biggest difference. But if the Americans join in, I could use their help in Asia. just because it will give us a little bit extra. Again, Russia needs to focus in Europe. America focuses in Asia with me. And okay, we can just hop around, take Hong Kong. Oh, that'll settle this. If we take Hong Kong, they lose basically the entirety of their fleet capacity. And so they won't be able to have nearly as many ships here. Not that they have a ton of ships anyway, but, you know, they'd have to have even less ships. We're going to be waiting a while. Because, yeah, we just do not have... Yeah. This is going to be a bit. So that's going to be it for this part. I will see you all next time. With the way this war is going, I suspect it's probably going to be over soon. And with a resounding victory on our part, we have a little over twice their VP. And I'm frankly shocked by this. I'm going to attribute this largely to some very early successes in defending against naval invasions. I think those made the biggest difference. Not because the places they invaded were important. They were, kind of, sort of, for us. But just because if you successfully defend against an invasion, that is a ton of victory points. Just like if you successfully invade, that is a ton of victory points. I mean, we saw that there. We got 10,000 victory points for a successful invasion. Granted, some of that was because we sunk 3 battleships, but nonetheless. So, invasions are very important for VP. Very, very important. So that gave us a bit of a leg up at the start. And so that's kind of added up and allowed us to be able to pick and choose battles a little bit more. Not that I've done too much of that, but theoretically it allows us to pick and choose battles a little bit more. But yeah, so surprisingly, it looks like we might eke out a victory here, even if it is not the kind of war I would have liked to have fought. Much less right now. But, okay. Yep, we are, like I said, I think that this is, this war is going to be very, very helpful for us, and I'm loving it. But, Jesus, unfortunately, when it ends, we're going to lose a shit ton of money. I think we're going to take war reps on this war. We're going to try and invade as much stuff as we can, but at the end of the day, I think the reality is we're taking war reps at the end of this because we need to massively rebuild our Navy, and those war reps are going to be helpful to offset the massive loss of budget whenever a war ends. But I will see you all next time. Until then, goodbye and farewell.